At this point, it's all alleged, but the one thing that is also equally disturbing in the lawsuit is the allegation is that after filing a complaint, she was then fired. And that's the place where I do think times are changing, where more and more stories are coming forward that maybe even 5 years ago they would have been buried under the rug. And so I think there is a lot to be said for the fact that this is so very public now. One of the things I wanted to ask, go ahead.
I was just going to say that even though I agree with you, things are changing, I think statistically, case after case, we're finding that women vastly underreport cases of sexual harassment because it's pretty vastly defined. I mean, that's whenever somebody's making comments to you, unwanted advances that make you feel uncomfortable. And there are statistics out there that 1 in 3, 1 in 4 women have experienced some form of sexual harassment in the workplace, the vast majority at the hands of people who are in perceived power over them, who have some sway over their job. And so the statistics from the EEOC, which is where you're supposed to report these sexual harassments, say that it's probably only 25% of what's actually even occurring out there. It's crazy.
I think that number, we're going to see so many more instances of reporting and so many different
as women feel
venues.
safe and protected coming forward.
Yes.
We'll hear more about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and one of the important things to do.
This woman was fired, she says, allegedly for retaliation for coming forward, and I think that's the big fear, that women still depend on their jobs. They still have to make a living. And this is pervasive. I mean, you really, when you start polling women and say, have you ever been in a situation, whether at work or otherwise, where you felt really uncomfortable? I think the vast
Hollywood
majority
is
of women
getting
would say yes.
is getting all the press now. You know, what do you need to do to get ahead? Well, guess what? It can happen in any type of business or environment.
But because, much like the first case, this is a lawsuit, court of law, one of the key things that people need to do is document.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, take notes, document, put it in writing. Do tell a supervisor. If you're still not getting the response you need, you can file a complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and hopefully get beyond the scope of your particular company if it is involved in harassment, because in this case, that's what was required. You know, I think companies now are learning that they can't get away with what they maybe did in the past. So while there's still not as many people probably pressing these cases as should, companies now know that they can't just make it go away.
Yeah, they can't sweep it under the rug. I think there have been too many high-profile cases now, and I think that is one good aspect of all the news coming out of Hollywood and other industries like this, that people realize that if they can document it, that they should feel comfortable coming forward. Because the more of these cases that come to light, we have the Me Too campaign right now on social media, where just with a hashtag, you're seeing thousands of women expressing what's happened to them. So that strength in numbers should hopefully change the environment.
And the one thing I will say that I don't necessarily love about society is the fact that there are now cameras everywhere. But one of the blessings of that, I said earlier, document. Nowadays, a lot of things are documented via video that you may not even realize, and that is something that can help in these scenarios, especially if you think about an airport.
Yeah, allegedly that's helping this case.
Yeah, because there are, again, all alleged, but cameras everywhere in airports. Nowadays, there are cameras all over a lot of
there's cameras on your phone. You can just flip it on video and document some of
so
there are cameras right there, right now.
Yeah, there really are. Well, we did reach out to Allied Universal for a statement, and they said they don't comment on pending litigation. Certainly, it'll be interesting to see how this story and lawsuit play out.